Well, after the behemoth gets moved,
Hmm.
um, and I guess back because
Hmm.
all of the time he's going to have for that is going to be to that camera.
Hmm.
Um, we'll most likely go into town to purchase the things for the headphones.
Okay, great. And even start to work on that if you have the time.
Yeah, I would have
Okay.
to have Mila's headphones, but
Okay.
that she'd have to be around, I guess.
Oh yeah. Okay. Okay. Well, then
Uh,
that dovetails right into what Mila wants to do.
I was gonna say Mila's gonna be following around Patrick, like just talking to him. Talking at him was more like it.
I love it.
And that's probably what she's gonna be doing, just
And
going, telling
Yeah,
him
if
stories about things he already knows.
ah
okay.
if if your character does bring up uh anything about her headphones, he will most likely listen to that.
Oh, okay. Very cool. Very cool. And Al, what do you have any general plans for the afternoon?
Well, unless anyone asked for help, which I don't know if anyone needed help or whatnot. I would
I-
probably.
If your character like asked around if you needed help, my
No.
character would probably okay.
Because his plans were, unless others needed help, was to start going around town and trying to get a handle on the political situation of the town. Thinking that if we are going to start tracking this person down, and if he loves positions of power, it would help to at least understand what the political scene is, thus start making educated guesses as to who to concentrate on. So I don't know if he'd be using his intelligence skill or just
We can figure things out. We can
gossiping,
figure
yeah.
something out with that.
Yeah,
That-
but he
That's really
stage
cool.
one of find the changeling.
That's really cool. The spy is getting intel. It's great.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that would be his afternoon.
Okay, cool. All right, so who to start with, my little kittens? All right, let's see here. Let's start with, well, because I want to flip from person to person. So, Bern, let's start with your purchase of, because you want to do the jewelry thing, and then you want to
First.
help out Giovanni. Okay, so you want to do the
Yeah.
jewelry thing first. So, you ask around, and the biggest and best jeweler by far is the Brilliant Plain, which is located to the east side of New Laszlo. So we'll drag your little icon over to where it would be located, which is right there.
Cool.
And as per the description, this is one of the tallest shops in New Laszlo. It actually stands 8 stories tall, and it has a very unique theme. Each floor is dedicated to a certain colored gemstone. So when you step in, first is these bright, rich reds, and you see a bunch of rubies everywhere, and red colored stones. And of course, there's emerald, sapphire, amethyst, the citrine, just different colors going with these 8 different levels of the shop. So it doesn't take very long for you to, for more of a, not you to approach as a salesperson approaches you. It's a very polite and proper lady. She looks to be in her maybe late 30s or early 40s. She has dark hair with a small streak, almost like a little gray streak going through along the crown. She's very thin. She's very slender, but she's very attractive. She has these big, wide, brown, like doe eyes, and with a small smile on her face, she asks, "Oh, good day, young sir. Is this your first time at at our establishment?"
Yes. I was wondering, and I'm gonna reach into my robes and
Mhm.
bring out the gem.
Mm-hmm.
I would like this gem to be set in a necklace.
Ah, well, this is a fine specimen. May I take a look at it?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
Please.
wonderful. Very dazzling color. She holds it up to the light. Oh, and it refracts it quite well, although it seems to be a little murky on the inside. But yes, I can see why you might want to have this encrusted inside a necklace. Now, why don't you come over here, sir, and we can maybe pick out exactly the necklace that you're looking for. Now, is this for yourself or for a significant other?
It is for myself.
Ah, I see. So are you looking for something striking and masculine, something that's very intricate, very artsy? Tell me more of what you're looking for in a necklace.
I'm trying to look for something sort of intricate and well, it basically the reason why I'm getting it set
Mm-hmm.
in a necklace is because I'm going to incorporate it into my show. I'm with the Endless Storytellers. I'm
Oh.
part of the Firebending Act.
Oh, and she kind of pauses for a moment and thinks and be like, Firebending Act. Oh, you're a traveling performer.
Yes.
Ah, okay. So you want something sturdy then, I imagine. Something that will fasten very secure to your frame, correct?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, all right, all right. Is there a particular metal that you particularly find striking? Silver, gold,
Mm,
platinum,
uh,
copper?
I think gold would be cool.
Gold would be nice. Okay, well, gold is always nice. Now, I hate to ask, and we're not one for prejudging or anything like that, but do you have a monetary budget? That will just help me suggest a few things.
Yeah, I kind of do. Yes, I do.
All right, well, if you don't mind me saying what your budget might be.
My
I
budget-
understand it makes you comfortable. Most people talk about, how about I show you a few different things with price points, and you can just simply choose from there.
Yes, please.
Okay, all right. So now this process takes about half an hour or so as she shows you, goes from showpiece to showpiece and everything like that. But it pretty much comes down to three different options for you. The first is very plain but very sturdy. It's less of a necklace and more of almost like a clasp around the neck, where the gem itself would be directly embedded into the gold itself. It's not very flashy, but it does have a few waves along either side of it that do kind of shimmer in the light slightly. That basic. Now this price that she's quoting also is the cost for labor in actually inlaying the gem itself. The cost for that is 4,000 credits.
Okay.
The next one is much more intricate as to your preferences. Now, before I go into the intricacies, is there like a certain pattern that you're really looking for? Like leaves or flames or...
flames.
Flames.
That'd be
Okay.
cool.
All right. So the first, the next piece that she shows you is much more intricate, but it hangs down low by the chest. It's not necessarily flimsy, but it would shake quite a bit because the actual, I guess you could say, links of the necklace itself are long and loose. Now, the sides on them, they're not quite flames. They're more almost look more like waves or almost like leaves. They could almost be construed as flames, really, especially as she shows you as it shimmers in the light. And that's 5,000 credits. But the third piece is the one that she recommends, and she feels, depending on what you've been talking about, this might really suit your purpose. This chain itself would hang around just below the little crook of the neck there, so not too high, not too short. It is made of a thick, sturdy gold that is actually reinforced by steel. Actually, the gold shapes around the steel, but it's very, very sturdy. It's a little bit on the heavier side, but what really brings the suggestion is that there actually are flames inlaid along the outside. The flames, looks like the base of the flame is along the actual part where the gem would be inlaid, and then wisps of flame and flickering of cinder would kind of fleck up along the rest of the necklace itself, if that makes any sort of sense. Now that one is a premium though. That's with the reinforcement and everything, that's about 8,000 gold. She's not too sure if that's within your budget or not, but
I will take out my cred stick and hand it to her. I will be willing to pay 8,200.
Well, may I assume that the 200 is just gratis for the
Yes.
Well,
Yes, for helping me out today.
oh, well, thank you very much. If you would like, we have a very secure vault here. Our craftsmiths are very, very good, and we do have um, uh, we are very dependable. So if you are comfortable with leaving your gem here, I believe, especially with this monetary incentive that you gave me, by tomorrow, I'd say about tomorrow around this time, your product should be ready.
Sounds perfect.
It's a simple task of just putting the gem inside, but of course we have a small backlog. You understand? We're
Yeah.
very, very popular.
Mhm.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you so much for your business. I don't think I actually got your name.
My name is Tom.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Tom. I'm Janine, and I was very good to help you out today.
Thank you. And I take her hand and shake it if
Oh, yeah.
she offers it.
Of course, she'll give you a very professional shake.
Mhm.
All
And
right.
I
That's
head
that.
off to do some practice.
All right, wonderful. Well, we'll switch back to, we'll say first Patrick and Mila. So, of course, Patrick, the first thing that you're doing is rigging up your camera that you got, correct?
Yes.
Now, you don't... go ahead.
I would like to make sure that Al knows that about the time, because I think he's the only one who can actually pilot the behemoth.
Oh, yeah, sure. That's easily synced up.
All right.
He can pilot, park it, do what he wants,
Yeah,
gather his
yeah.
intelligence, and come back. It's very, very simple.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
so now as for the camera goes itself, you don't have to go into the nitty-gritty specifics, but what do you want to accomplish with this camera?
Well, first things first, need to make sure that the outer shell has been tinkered with, so the cracks are completely sealed, and that I can actually put some holes where it's needed.
Yep, yeah, you'd be able... Actually, well, no, give me a roll first, depending
Alright.
on the success of this.
That should
Okay.
do it.
Yeah, definitely. So you're able to both... It's more of a polymer... It's not really a glue. It's more of a polymer seal that you're able to put on the casing itself to give it more structural integrity, and enough for you to actually drill holes in it. Yeah,
All right. I
that
think
part's done.
next would probably be making sure that I can open this up and deal with the innards.
Okay.
So I can make sure that I loosen the proper wires and make sure that they are available for what I need to do for my last step, which will probably be some sort of metal work. So to make sure that I have the tips needed.
Okay, sure. So we'll put those. We'll do two separate rolls. Now, Mila, during this time, is she listening to her headset?
Yeah, she's listening to her music, and every now and then she's gonna try and sneak up behind Patrick and put the music headphones on him. So she's like, "Oh, listen to this part. Listen to this part."
Okay. So, Patrick,
Mhm.
I'm going to give you a 5% penalty due to Mila's distraction.
That's okay.
So, the easiest way to do it is just to add 5% to your rolls. So
Okay.
roll it the first time.
Okay.
Okay, that's no problem. You're able to get the inner workings more than fine. And the second one. Yeah,
Yep.
okay. Despite Mila's genuine enthusiasm over the new music purchase she has made, you are able to... and she critically fails for some reason. You are able to get this functioning. Now, do you want to say what the function is, or do you want to keep that secret?
If anybody even questions him, I don't think he would hide anything. But
Oh, okay.
I think he's engrossed enough into his work that he probably wouldn't just start like blathering exactly what it is.
Okay, fair enough. Well, is it okay just even out of character for us to talk about it?
Yeah, I don't really. If people saw it, they might.
You know what?
Not know
We'll
what
keep
it
it.
is,
We'll
but-
keep it secret for now.
All right.
But it is fully
You
functioning.
know what? I'm
Mhm.
gonna start testing it.
Oh shit. Okay, how are you gonna start testing it?
I'm gonna take a metal plate.
Oh, okay. I thought you were gonna use Mila.
I was thinking about it,
Well,
but
maybe.
no.
If she keeps distracting you enough. Anyway. All right. So
I'm
you can
go-
take a metal plate. Okay.
Um, make sure that I can clearly hear a charge up sound.
Okay, you can.
And we'll then just kind of touch it to the metal plate to make sure that it is working. Also, I should probably make sure how much I need to. Oh, how would I do this? I need to make sure like how much energy this thing is actually making.
Well, that's will be a part of the test, right? So
Yeah.
you're just taking one of the metal sheets that you use. Are you just holding one end of the metal sheet and just poking
No,
it? Okay,
I would
all right,
not be
good.
that.
All right, good. I just wanted to make sure. So you place it on the ground.
I would mount it on something that isn't
Doesn't conduct electricity.
no.
Fair enough.
and-
It is fair to assume that you're that wise.
and just start prodding it to make sure that it is at least notable enough that it's doing something.
Yeah, well, no, you hear the charge up sound, you hit the two probes against the metal, and a shock of electricity runs out. It seems to be a pretty big chunk, and it's actually drained half the battery. You might have given it a little too much juice. So you can tinker it with it a little bit more. And when you do so and test it out again on the same sheet, it looks like there's still a charge, there's still a jolt, but only about a quarter of the battery has been used at this point. And now these batteries can be recharged very similarly to E-clips. In fact, you can probably jury-rig an E-clip to transfer energy from an E-clip to this battery that this camera is using. But right now you're going to get, for it to be fully effective, you will get 4 shots or 4 charges per battery.
Good.
Okay. I think
Now,
that's
Mila, will you do anything while I'm doing this?
She's gonna be doing the same thing, although I don't know. It's not really visually that interesting, is
No.
it?
It would be. No, I saw I physically saw a video of this. You would hear loud crackling and there would be visual sparks on this.
She'd probably like go wide-eyed, like kind of put her headphones down or not put her headphones down. She'd probably just like, like stretch them out so she could like hear you better. So they're not like directly on her ears and just looking and be like, "What'd you do?"
Oh, well, basically I took the battery and a lot of its energy that it has, I put it on the sheet. Is it too loud for you?
Do it again.
All right.
do it again. Another zap of electricity as a small blue-white current hits the metal itself and connects through the 2 probes that are just very subtly jutting out the side of the camera.
Do it again! She's getting more excited now.
You've now drained the battery.
I've drained my battery.
Why can't you do it again?
You can only have so much energy through these, but since it is a camera battery, it can definitely go through enough. Oh man, if we only had like an old time battery, I could actually show you by the whining sound.
What?
He'll be off in his own little world about like the olden days and how those cameras worked.
Come back to me. Mila would like put her headphones back on and said like, "Wake up, Patrick, no."
Let me get a new battery.
Okay.
All right, you go get a new battery, charge her back up.
Out of character, I'm sorry, do you mind if I ask? I spaced out for a little second. What exactly is the effect of this, other than
We
looking
haven't
really
talked about this yet, really.
Oh.
I want to leave it to Piff's discretion.
cool? Good.
I-
Then me
since
spacing
we're
out,
actually-
I didn't space out as much as I thought. Sorry.
Yeah. I can talk about it since I've described it enough. I
Okay,
suppose.
yeah. Talk about it real quick.
Basically, this is a jerry-rigged camera to be a taser. The battery juice from most cameras can actually give out a lot of electricity in a surprising amount of.
Oh, yeah, they can.
They did that on Burn Notice once.
Mhm.
So basically, you just made it a stun gun.
No, it's
Yep.
it doesn't. It's one of those like.
The taser, you got to press it against their
yeah.
their
Yeah.
flash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Neat.
Cool. All right. Well, that's our camera taser. We'll switch now to you there, Al. Just to bring the focus to you here real quick. So you are once again, just refresh me on your objectives. Are you just trying to you're getting a feel for the political situation in New Laszlo, correct?
Correct. The movers and shakers and start trying to get a general idea of who might be our target.
Okay. Give me a moment here
Also,
as I load.
if it matters at all, special relevance would be put on political figures that their policies, decisions, and authority seem to be more directed towards themselves and not for the good of the city.
Okay.
Everyone, no.
Well, human nature, right?
Yeah,
Or
right.
demon nature.
Yeah.
But let's just think here for a second. Now, what kind of skill set would you be using here? Do you have Streetwise?
Do not have streetwise.
Okay, so just hearing rumors on the street, like going on and just asking people, that's kind of what Streetwise does. So you wouldn't get your information that way. How would you get your information on the governance of New Laszlo?
Well, here's a good question, because this has always been kind of a strange skill. Intelligence, is that just what I know, or is it also my ability to gather it?
I think it's fair to say that it's also your ability to gather it. Otherwise, it'd be just very limited, wouldn't it?
Then my here's a good question.
Okay.
What is the government of New Laszlo? Is it a democracy with a senate?
I mentioned it. I mentioned when we first introduced New Laszlo, but that information was given to you very quick. So I'll tell you right now. I'll retell you right now. New Laszlo, the governance is run by both a small council and a large council. The small council is made up of 6 members who provide the overall leadership and planning, and they have greater authority and voting power. It's a position of great prestige, but also great responsibility. They're all elected every 2 years, but most of the members have been constantly voted in time after time. Okay? So members of the large council you have already met thanks to the little meet and greet when you first arrived to New Laszlo are as follows. Give me a moment. Ashwin Calabar, who is the cyber knight who was under attack, who was still recuperating after that horrible blast at the governance building. He is one of the original founders of New Laszlo, and he's on the small council. Okay? The other one is Kyla Temple. She's another original founder. She's a magic user. She's the head of education at the New Laszlo, and she's also on the small council. You also met her. She's a little bit older. She has white short hair. And the only other small council, no, sorry, you met 2 other small council members. One is Fayeth, who is the lithe elven woman with the tight pants. She is a new... No, she doesn't just wear tight pants. Just when you met her, she's wearing a dark green sweater and form-fitting leather pants. She is a very newly voted new council member. She is an archaeologist and anthropologist and very, very popular with a lot of people. So she's new to the responsibility.
And the small council has a large say in all kind of...
Oh, yeah,
policy.
they're
So
like the big thinkers.
Is it safe to say that they would constantly have the attention of lobbyists and
Yes.
political movement? Okay.
Yes.
I have an idea, and I want to see if
Do you want me to finish telling you the
Yes.
governmental structure first?
Yes.
I won't go into details because there's another whole area of governance as well
Okay.
that you should know. There's the small council and the large council. Now, the large council is made up of 60 members, and they're voted every 3 years. And each member has a specific sphere of influence and responsibility. None of the positions are symbolic, and they all report to the small council and the population at large. So one might be in charge of the water supply. One might be in charge of sewerage. One might be in charge of pest control. One might be in charge of agriculture. You know what I mean? Like, there's the big thinkers, which is the small council, and there's the small doers, which is the large council, if that makes sense.
Okay.
All right, so what was your plan?
All right. I think I'd probably spend this day in the library. What I want to do is learn everything I can about the road system in New Laszlo.
Okay.
Most specifically, its conditions, who oversees it and what group runs it. And my overall plan is to approach each of the small member councils in disguise, and pretend to be a lobbyist for the road system, pitching to each of the small member councils a plan to increase the quality of the roads at great expense or cost to that person themselves, in such a way that it is great for the town, but maybe not the best thing for their personal pocket or checkbook or whatnot, and see how each of them reacts to me. And in order to do that,
Okay.
I would need to spend at least a day doing my homework so I can actually sound like I'm a credible from this department person.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting approach. All right. Well, I won't go into the details. I'll just say you pay your 20 credits, membership or day pass into the library, and you're able to, through the history books of New Laszlo, understand how the place is laid out. It is very much. It started out as a very frontier town where it was more of a base outpost, and much like how the city is laid out, things were just grown in a circular fashion as people kept adding in. So the roads are a bit of a mess. It's a bit of a hodgepodge. They're well kept in most areas. The older areas, they are definitely older. Well, of course, David, that's why you say the word older, you idiot. I'm repeating myself. Don't mind me. I'm just chastising myself, too. The older areas are a little bit more run down, but they're well taken care of. They could definitely use some improvement. As for the materials that they have handy, it's not really concrete because they can't manufacture it themselves. So the local area, especially in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where this is based from, is actually clay. So a lot of the materials that they've used is a clay base. So you're thinking if you're able to provide a cheap and easily transferable element to repair or to create some roads, like asphalt or something like that, you can BS some sort of story. That might be an in for you.
And I like that.
Does
and then
that help?
I can play it in such a way that the startup would require finances that might have to be
investment.
pocketed by the council themselves. Yeah. I would. Yes, I like
Okay.
that approach.
All right.
I would also that night probably ask Mila for help. Or I guess the next morning when I'm going to do it, ask
Okay.
for Mila to help, because the idea is I want to obviously make my face look older and more wrinkled, get like kind of a suit and glasses, and get my hair very slicked, egghead politician type of hair.
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Well, we'll just deal with that was you doing the afternoon business.
Yes,
Okay.
that was the after.
Ruby?
Mhm.
Okay. So, we'll go back to you there, Tom. You still here, Bern?
Yes.
Okay, so we'll just switch focus right back to you here for you to practice with Giovanni, also known as the Firebrand. He's grateful to see you. He's hoping to do you're about to put on your show in the next hour or so, and he's hoping to spend some time beforehand just going over exactly what you're going to be doing for this big performance, this play. So he tells you that the setup is that the main character, she goes through all these trials, and one of the final trials is for her to actually step through hell itself. Now, before they were using lights and some small pyrotechnics, but New Laszlo is set up, Tom, where they are very understanding of magic, and we feel that we can really incorporate this. So instead of having just fake flames and lights, we're actually going to give them some real stuff. Now,
Okay.
I know you're still learning this whole thing. You're powerful in your own right. But I'm thinking you can do the big flames, like the really big, powerful stuff, while I deal with the smaller ones that flick around the stage. They require a little bit more concentration, and I've been practicing on it a little bit. So if you're comfortable doing that, that's what we'll do.
Sounds perfect.
Awesome. All right. You're a good kid. All right, Spark. Well, so you spend your first hour or so practicing that, and you feel like you do have a good grasp on this. You don't have to do any backflipping, so you're good.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get on with the day show that you that you guys have been rehearsing for a while and performing a few times. There is, unlike Innisfail, whereas farmers and they're a little hesitant with fire around their crops, you actually draw in a very sizable crowd, probably about 80 people in this small little auditorium that has been made for you in Chestnut Grove.